Imagine your mom is talking to you, and this is the woman that gave birth to you, and she's talking to you about something very meaningful and deep for her, and you can't even focus. Now imagine reading a book that can change your life, that can make you rich and become a millionaire. You read a sentence and you forget about it. You read the sentence again and you forget about it. It just doesn't seem like it sticks with you. Is this how you really want to live your life? No, right? However, there is one great habit that can change and reverse this damage, and that is meditation. Let's get into it. A lot of people like to explain meditation in very complicated and confusing ways. That there's a special requirement that needs to go into it, or some type of level of spirituality, but that's not the case. Meditation is quite literally very simple, and it can be done at this very moment. And today, I'm gonna show you the 4-step process on how to meditate in very simple terms that even a toddler can understand. So how do you meditate? Step 1 of meditation is to focus. The main part of meditation is to focus on one particular thing at one single point. And the most common thing that people like to focus on is their breath. But it doesn't have to be your breath. It can be the sound of leaves rumbling. It can be the sound of the wind. It can be your cat. It can be your bodily sensations, like your shit on your skin, the feeling in your toes. It can be anything, as long as it's right here in the present moment. One thing I like to focus on is on my cat. I like to bring him outside with me. I like to look at him and see what he does. I like to analyze his behaviors. I like to look into his eyes, look how his ears twitch. I like to connect with him in the present moment. But here's the part where most people go wrong and they choose to quit. When someone focuses on one thing and then loses focus, their brain just says that they can't meditate. They decide it is impossible to do. But what they don't realize is that losing focus is literally the second step of meditation. Let's say you're focused on your breath right now, right? And throughout, you lose focus. You become distracted by thoughts of you had yesterday or in the morning. Or even your mom walks in and wants to talk to you. Right here, your mind would say that you can't meditate, that's not possible for you to do it, that your meditation session is all ruined. But that's the point of it, to lose it and then gain the realization that you lost focus, which is literally the third step of meditation. Initially enough, there's actually a delay between that thought that popped up in your brain and the realization that you lost focus. So now you're focused on your breath, then you get that thought. But once you get that thought, you become so deep into it that it literally takes a couple seconds for you to realize it. And for your brain to say, oh yeah, I need to be focused on my breath. But all you need to do when you get this realization that you lost focus, and which is the 4th step of meditation, is to bring back that focus onto your breath or whatever you're focused on. This focus may last 1 second or even a half a second, but that's the point. Focus, lose focus, realize, and then bring it back repeatedly over and over and over again. And every time you repeat this cycle, it's like a 1 XP or an experience point into your meditation and mindfulness skill. It's the same like in Minecraft, like you get those experience points, as you gain more and more of them, you start to level up, but then you can chant all your armor and all that bullshit. It's the same with meditation. However, there's actually a way to lose these experience points that we just gained and do the complete opposite, which what I like to call is anti-meditation. Can you guess what that really is? It's probably the most common thing that most people are doing right now, and that is scrolling. Whenever you're on TikTok and Instagram, you're training your brain to focus on one thing, then lose the focus and become focused on another topic. And as a result, our attention span becomes shorter and shorter and shorter. I've actually done something very demonic to show you guys. I've actually gone ahead and redownloaded TikTok to show you guys. You can see right now, you're on TikTok. We're focused on one video, then we become distracted, we get a random thought, and we become bored. So we decide to switch it up. Now we're focused on a different thing, then we become bored. And it happens again, and again, and again, and again, to the point where you're literally just mindlessly scrolling. Right now, you're probably losing focus every second of this video. You probably had hundreds of thoughts of something completely irrelevant to what I'm saying. And as harsh and as insulting as this sounds, this is a mental illness. You probably had to be diagnosed with a learning disability. And I probably had to be diagnosed with a learning disability because I literally quite did this for a long time. I've been scrolling on TikTok ever since I was like 13, 14, and I'm 21 now. But however, with meditation, we're doing the complete opposite. We're focusing on one thing, losing that focus, and bringing it back instead of jumping onto a new thing like we do on TikTok and Instagram. And by the way, you will still lose this focus even after a couple seconds. Actually, monks who had trained for years and dedicated their lives to meditation, they only focused for like 10 seconds. or at most 1 minute. You might be saying to yourself, bro, fucking 1 minute focus is bullshit, it's useless. Even though it doesn't seem much, focusing on one particular thing for even a couple seconds will change your life and significantly change the impact you have with other people. Now, imagine you're reading a book. So let's say you're in this book, The Way of the Superior Man. Let's say you read the book, right? You don't meditate. And you get to around 2 sentences in or until you get a new thought and you lose focus. Then you have to reread that sentence. Now imagine you do 300 cycles of meditation. Now instead of getting to this 2 sentences, you can probably end up to more like here. Now imagine this book being the transcript of you talking to a loved one or your future wife. Imagine your future wife looking to you in your eyes and telling you something deep that really truly means to her. Then your mind just wanders off and just lose the connection. Now imagine you meditate and your attention span doubles. How cool would that be? That you would have a deep, undisturbed connection with your wife. And even if you do lose focus, you're able to bring it back. This is quite literally the difference between your wife loving you and divorcing you. Because if you can't truly connect with her, then there's no love. What's there? And honestly, you can gain this level of presence within 1 or 2 weeks of doing this daily for 30 to 60 minutes. But basically, meditation is that simple. Next time you hear someone saying that they can't meditate, that they can't do it, walk them through these 4 steps of focusing, losing focus, then realizing, and then bringing it back. And please, please, please take action on this, because this is a real skill that you need to have more pleasure in life, especially during this age of short content and all that degenerate shit. And please share this video with those people who are around you. Imagine how cool that'd be that you're present and that person you have the conversation with is also present. Now instead of you giving 100% and then giving 25%, you're both giving 100%. It will truly help anyone and it will change our lives. Thank you for watching and stay on that grind, motherfucker.